when you hear about war, retaliation, and nuclear fear. It can feel sudden, but these moments are never sudden. They are the fruit of seeds planted long ago. So let's take a brief walk through the shadows of history to understand how the US and Iran ended up here, once again on the edge of fire. In 1953, Iran's democratically elected prime minister nationalized the country's oil industry. This move angered British and American interests. In response, the CIA and British intelligence orchestrated a coup. The prime minister was removed. The Shah, a Western-friendly monarch, was installed. This began 25 years of authoritarian rule, and more importantly, planted a deep distrust of American intentions in the Iranian psyche. The Iranian people rose up. The Shah was overthrown. In his place, an Islamic theocracy was born under Ayatollah Khomeini. Furious over US support for the Shah, Iranian students stormed the US embassy. 52 Americans were held hostage for 444 days. Diplomatic ties were severed, hatred calcified. From here, Iran and the US became ideological enemies. In the early 2000s, Iran pursued nuclear technology. It claimed peaceful energy use. The West feared weapons development. Sanctions tightened. Inspectors were sent. The game of suspicion began. Under President Obama, diplomacy prevailed. The Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action was born. Iran agreed to restrict uranium enrichment and open its sites to inspectors. In exchange, sanctions were lifted. A fragile trust began to form, but it wouldn't last long. After his first election, President Trump unilaterally withdrew from the deal, calling it weak. Sanctions returned. Iran's economy collapsed. In response, Iran restarted enrichment. The trust collapsed again. In 2020, the US killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani in a drone strike. He was seen as both a terrorist and a hero. Iran retaliated with missile strikes on US bases in Iraq. The region held its breath, waiting for war to break. Efforts to restore the nuclear deal stalled. Iran grew closer to Russia and China. Covert attacks, assassinations, and proxy conflicts intensified. Israel and Iran clashed repeatedly in the shadows. The world watched and waited. In early 2025, Israel struck key Iranian nuclear sites. Iran responded with missile volleys. Now, the US has launched its own strikes against Iran's nuclear program. Iran calls it an act of war. We are no longer in the shadows. We are on the brink. This is not just about nuclear weapons. It's about who controls the future of the Middle East. It's about empire, influence, and legacy. It's about a world order where the US fears losing dominance as new powers rise. And it's about people, ordinary people, trapped in cycles of decisions made far above their heads. The events of today did not come from nowhere. They are the result of decades of broken trust, paranoia, and revenge. But understanding this past gives us a sliver of power, the power to break the cycle. History doesn't just repeat, it echoes, waiting for someone to finally respond with something new.